Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was not only the best-selling artist of his time, but he's also widely hailed as the greatest performer in music history. While his fame was staggering, so was his isolation. Abuse from his father and relentless media scrutiny drove him to distance himself from those closest to him, and his increasingly eccentric behavior made him the target of the media for decades. So when Michael Jackson died, the world didn't know what to think of him. But there was one person who knew him better than anyone else.
Hello, Brooke. I hope I get to see you soon. Goodbye.
I met him when I was 13.
The 53rd Annual Academy Awards.
I went to the Academy Awards to Diana Ross, and this girl walked up to me and said, "Hi, I'm Brooke Shields."
Brooke Shields, she's currently one of the hottest commodities in the world.
And she goes, "Are you going to the after party?" I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Good, I'll see you at the park." Oh my God, did she know she's all over my room?
How do you feel about all this fuss that's being made over you?
I think it's kind of fun.
Michael and Brooke fell head over heels for one another.
Could you reach him like other Earthlings couldn't?
She'll come over, I'll go to her house.
It was such a huge topic of conversation.
How do you recognize him between dates?
How big is Michael Jackson's willy?
Did you propose to her?
He gave me the most beautiful ring.
Michael felt he'd found the love of his life. But there was someone close to him who hated Brooke more than anyone else.
You'll never really hear me say anything bad about anybody except for that man. He's not a human being. He's the devil.
Here is a man, steel worker. Where are you, Joe?
Right here.
I'll tell you, 9 kids. Look at this. Is there anybody around who wouldn't want grandchildren to behave like this? I'm telling you, here is a drug-free family.
While Joe Jackson was being praised for how he raised his kids, his son Michael was missing.
I just wanted to know, where's Michael today?
Jeremy, probably working.
In their time, when they were coming up as kids, there was a lot of bad things happening around.
Gary's unemployment rate reached 48%. The victims of crime wheeled in every day of the week.
I had to know what was going on, keep them out of trouble.
Joe felt that the best thing for his family was turning them into a band that he managed.
I had a whole group. They came along Michael.
My mother caught me making my bed one day and I was singing. She forced him to listen to me, and once he listened to me, from that moment on, I was the lead singer of the group.
It was huge. This mega hit of a family that he brought up.
All these up here is the Jackson family. Queen sold over 60 million records.
I just want to commend you on your wonderful family.
Talented and together.
Without a doubt, one of the most popular singing groups in the entire world today.
And soon, a superstar was unveiled to the world.
Hey, Michael. Was I ready in 9 or 10? I forgot.
9.
It comes so easy for him. Melody, song, dance.
Is it easy for you?
Dancing like Michael Jackson, no, it's a nightmare for me.
But as the Jackson 5 became one of the biggest bands in the world, people gradually saw that something was wrong with Michael.
Michael, how would you say the audience reacts in most cases?
Your son Michael said in a recent interview that he was frightened of you.
Do you think your father was too strict? Yes. No, he's gonna kill me. He's gonna get you still worried about that. Well, he feels that he was strict. I'm glad he said it. Now I'll say it, yes. Did he?
Suddenly, the world saw a different side to Joe.
Didn't he once say that you were physically, emotionally abusive to him?
I've never been abusive to him.
If he hit me, I would hit him back, but I would really get it.
You know, many people say you can't hit a child.
There's no such thing as beating a kid.
Is he predominantly a good man, do you think?
I think my father means well.
Most of Michael's family sided with Joe.
Child abuser. That's not true.
He did what was necessary.
9 kids drug-free, and we became something.
But as he distanced himself from his family, Michael transformed as well.
The way you look, where does it come from? Oh, God. Yeah. It's pretty embarrassing. He used to tease me real bad about it.
It's cruel, isn't it?
Yeah, it used to hurt me. I don't think he realized how much he was hurting me.
What sort of thing did he say?
He would tease me about how I looked, and he would say, well, you didn't get it from my side of the family. People don't stop to think what they're saying sometimes, and the effect it can have on a person, you know. He used me as the example. It was like, do it like Michael. You know, and he practiced us with a belt in his hand. And if you miss a step, expect to be, the others were very nervous, and I was nervous too, you know, because he was tough.
How often would he beat you?
Too much.
Would he only use a belt?
Why do you do this to me? No, more than a belt. They make you strip nude first. Your whole ritual, he would oil you down, so when the foot of the ironing cord hit you, it would just, you know, your foot's all over your face, your back, everywhere. And I always hear my mother back, no, Joe, you're gonna kill him, no. I would just give up. There was nothing I can do, you know.
Without his family around him, Michael had become completely isolated.
That's probably why I had the mannequins, because I felt I needed people. I needed someone.
And this is the little girl behind all those faces, Brooke Shields. And this is the face behind the face of Brooke Shields, Terry Shields, manager and mother.
Why do you love her so much? Why do you love your mother?
Well, because it's just been both of us, you know what I mean? It's just been myself, just the two of us.
There's nobody else as well.
Long before Michael came into the picture, Terry was a poor single mother with a dream.
The day I brought her home from the hospital, I just knew she'd be a star. A star.
Our plan was, we got that job.
My dress is much softer now.
We can get a car. Oh, we get this job. We don't have to live in our little apartment anymore.
You really are an exquisite-looking young lady.
Soon, Brooke was thrown into the world of adults.
I think Brooke's like a work of art, and like any beautiful painting. I think the world should enjoy Brooke and view her.
I could never understand how a mother would allow her daughter to play such a role.
A prostitute. Was that a big decision for you?
No, it wasn't at all. It was a very difficult role, and I don't think any other child could have played it as well as Brooke.
I wanted to make everybody happy with the job that I was doing.
How old is she?
Do you want to put me in jail?
We had a first kiss scene. I had never kissed anybody before. I felt, oh my God, I'm supposed to know how to do this, but I don't know how to do this. Every time Keith tried to do the kiss, I would scrunch my face up. And Louis got upset with me. Don't do that with your face, don't. What's this? Ooh, ooh. And then Keith was the one who asked to just have a word with me and said to me, hey, he said, you know what? This doesn't count. It's pretend. This is all make-believe.
While Brooke was experiencing her first kiss, her mother Terry was out drinking. Terry's secret would soon become Brooke's secret as well.
Let me ask you, Brooke, here's a hard question about your mother. And it's described in this magazine as a broad, open-faced woman with manners to match. Her face bears the marks of the heavy drinker, the rough skin. Is that a fair description of your mother as you know her?
I don't think so.
I said all the things that I had sort of rehearsed in my head.
She has terrible allergies. That's what causes her skin to be the way it is, and she is outspoken and she says what she feels. She's my mama.
Brooke and her mother were a team, but when Brooke turned 16, she started seeing how bad things had gotten.
We went to court. I was on the stand for 2 days straight.
Trying to block the distribution of nude photos.
Terry had approved a photo shoot that would haunt Brooke for the rest of her life.
If we know that she's a whore, we know how to talk to her.
State Supreme Court Justice Edward Greenfield told the 16-year-old actress she can't have it both ways. She cannot appear in suggestive movies and commercials and preserve the image of an innocent teenager.
The Court of Appeals ruled today that a photographer may publish nude pictures of Brooke Shields, photos that he took of the model when she was only 10 years old.
How do you feel about that?
It's hard to say. I mean, I'm confused, just like everybody else is, I think, now. I don't know. Things happen for the best, I guess.
Brooke was feeling trapped with her mother. But with Michael, she found freedom she'd never had.
We love each other more now than we even did when we were younger.
The world was going back and forth on whether or not Brooke was dating Michael Jackson or not dating.
The fame eventually got out of hand.
I go around the world dealing with running and hiding. I can't take a walk in the park. I can't go to the store. I have to hide in a room. You feel like you're in prison.
When you think of Michael Jackson, you don't first think, what a great artist. You think, what a weird guy.
Michael Jackson's been overhauled more than the Statue of Liberty.
Many people had issues with Michael being white.
Bleaching your skin. Is your skin lighter because you don't like being black?
Michael. Michael forgot he was a
while others had issues with him being black.
Wacko Jacko, where'd that come from?
The term Jacko was Cockney slang to refer to monkeys in general.
You should not say he's an animal. It's not nice.
Soon, Brooke found herself defending Michael as well.
Do they upset you? Make you angry?
They upset me constantly.
Michael. He spent his whole life trying to be a white woman, his whole mother life.
In order to augment their own self-worth, they feel that they have to belittle him.
I have a heart and I have feelings. I feel that. Don't do it.
Headlines which paint him as a weird recluse.
Crazy stories.
Most people don't sleep in an oxygen chamber.
Making you out to be not normal. What is normal?
To be a friend of Michael's, one must steel oneself for an intense media onslaught.
You're just so alienated from the rest of humanity.
Unlike most people, Brooke saw Michael as a human being. But she would soon have to decide how big a part of his life she wanted to be.
The sales clerk at Zales noticed a suspicious character who seemed to be wearing a disguise.
It must have been pretty funny out there having Michael Jackson.
It was funny, but it was also a little bit frightening.
Jackson was in a Zales jewelry store pricing rings.
Does that ring belong on your finger or in a Coca-Cola? That is the largest piece of ice I have ever seen.
This got me into so much trouble. This is a gift from a friend, a very, very close friend of mine that I've known for almost all my life. And I'm not engaged. I wasn't engaged.
But how much money does a ring like that cost? Just the ballpark.
I didn't ask him. I'm not going to have a question.
Okay, this is what I'm getting to. Do you have someone in your life you would give something like that to unless y'all was going to get married or something?
Well, good question. It's something that's nice that I now own that is from a very good friend. And it's not marriage. And I said to him, what does this mean? Are you asking me a question that I should be answering? And he said, no, I just want you to look at it. And every time you see it sparkle, just know how much I love you.
Oh,
and
damn, that was nice.
Good, huh?
That was nice, yeah.
Very good.
But Brooke had misunderstood Michael.
Why is Peter Pan a figure of such interest and inspiration to you?
Because Peter Pan, he represents youth, childhood, never growing up, magic.
You don't want to grow up?
No, I am Peter Pan.
He couldn't believe I was going to go away to college by myself. He just didn't get it. He was like, you can't do that. And I said, I've got a chance. I said, I've been going out in the world. I'm not so isolated. And I want this chance. I want a chance to be quote unquote normal, you know? And he never really could trust a lot of people around him.
To disappear is very important. Yeah, I would like to some kind of way disappear when people don't see me anymore at some point. And just do my things for children.
He said we should adopt a child. We should adopt a child and raise a child together.
God knows in my heart how much I adore children. I used to walk around holding baby dolls.
Really?
Yeah, because I wanted children so badly.
Nobody should do anything that they don't feel comfortable about doing.
This fall you go to college, Brooke.
Yes, I do.
You looking forward to that?
Very much so.
Back to school, did you see the picture of Brooke Shields? She is doing very well in her classes. As a matter of fact, her biology professor gave her an A in anatomy. Hers.
College was supposed to be Brooke's way of taking charge of her life, but it wasn't what she expected.
The campus is all accessible. You know, you could find me. People were bribing students to sneak pictures of me in the shower.
Meanwhile, Michael did what he could to appease his loneliness.
A good friend of mine had them close the whole shopping mall. He had people in there that I knew, pretending as if they were shopping, so it felt like, you know, it was a real environment. I can't go out and walk down the street, so I create my world behind my gates. I've never lost a water balloon fight. I'm the Michael Jordan of water balloon fighting.
He's the dude. Yay. We won the fight again and again.
While Michael eventually made friends, Brooke made a friend of her own.
Is there anybody special in Brooke Shields' life at the moment?
Actually, there is, and he's with me today.
Well, that's great. I mean, is he real special?
He's real special, yeah.
Is he right over there?
Yeah, come here. Just say hi to everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Well, why don't you introduce him?
His name's Dean Kane.
Dean and Brooke were Mr. and Miss Perfect.
So you're developing shows and you're writing and you're acting and you're in People's 50th Most Beautiful and you're annoying. You're annoying me now. You're the guy that my mom says, why can't you be more like that guy?
Brooke says she wants to remain a virgin until she finds someone she loves.
You know, he was the first person I trusted with all of it. When we finally had sex, I immediately ran out of the room, ran down the hall, butt naked, running. I didn't know where I was going. And he ran after me with the duvet and grabbed a hold of me and said, "Where are you going?" He goes, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving you. You're the same person." He got it instantly, and I just cried.
One day, I was in my house, and the phone rang, and I picked up the phone. "Hello," and he said, "Hi, Oprah, this is Michael." I put down the phone, I ran in the other room where the executive producer, Debbie, was. She was over my house, and I went, "Debbie! Debbie! Michael Jackson's on the phone!"
Michael Jackson's first interview in 14 years.
Wednesday, the king of pop breaks his silence.
How nervous are you right now?
I'm not nervous at all, actually.
Well, we would like to know whether or not there is a possibility that you are going to marry one day and have children.
I would feel that my life isn't complete if I do not. But I couldn't right now because I'm married to my work.
Mm-hmm. Michael, I'm going to ask you this, and it's embarrassing for me to ask you this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Are you a virgin?
How could you ask me that question?
I just want to know. I want to know.
I'm a gentleman.
You're a gentleman.
I'm a gentleman.
Do you go out? Do you date?
Yes.
Who do you date?
Well, right now it's Brooke Shields.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we try not to just be everywhere and go everywhere.
I called him and I said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm actually currently with a boyfriend in New York City. What are you doing?
She'll come over, I'll go to her house, because I don't like going out in the public.
I eventually sort of lost touch with him.
Though Brooke felt betrayed by Michael, it wouldn't be the last time she was pulled into his life.
Fire paramedic 33, what is your address of emergency?
Sir, we have a gentleman here that needs help, and he's not breathing yet.
I heard they couldn't revive him. I don't know who to believe or who to trust right now.
It's the day the music died.
When confirmation came, fans swarmed to the hospital to mourn their hero, but also to celebrate his life.
If you were in Michael's life, would he still be alive today?
Of course.
Why'd you decide to show up here tonight? Is it to pay tribute to your son, to make
sure? Yeah, to show pictures of my son, yeah, Michael. But I want to make this statement. Marshall and I, we owned a record company called Ranch Records.
Joe Jackson is organizing events following his son's death, raising money not for one of his son's beloved children's charities, but to build a museum and possibly a casino.
This is an opulent funeral service. I believe that's a Phantom. It has to be a $500,000 car.
Many celebrities will be in attendance, but also of note, who we won't see.
I really thought, this is going to be a cartoon. I never liked the dad never liked me. I'm not going to be invited.
Intriguing way of handling it, but I think he's got the marching orders on what they want him to say.
Joe Jackson, we thank you.
Without Joe Jackson, there would be no Michael Jackson.
We know it was your dream too.
But not everything went according to Joe's plan.
I think approaching this microphone is Brooke Shields.
It was his mom who called me and said, I want you to speak.
Shields said, the Jackson family had written me out something, but I just had to do my own thing.
Brooke hadn't been seen with Michael for over a decade, and it wasn't clear if she'd forgiven him. Many believed that Brooke had started seeing Michael as the monster he was portrayed as.
Michael. He's a predator.
He's the worst kind of filth.
But no one was more worried about what Brooke was going to say than Joe.
You just look in his eyes and it's just, he's the devil. I don't know what possessed me. I went over to him and I said, you know what? You never liked me. I never liked you. You always were mean. And he was like, why are you like that, Brooke? What are you doing? And I said, no. I'm going to thank you for your son. Because your son changed the world and was my friend.
Michael was one of a kind. Whenever we were out together and there would be a picture taken, the caption usually said something like an odd couple. To us, it was the most natural and easiest of friendships. Yes, it may have seemed very odd to the outside, but when we were together, we were two little kids having fun. Seeing him smile made you feel like everything was going to be all right. Today, although our hearts are aching, we need to look up and we need to smile.